Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to Draft Day Sports Pro Basketball 2020. This is episode number 18. We're into the free agency period, the biggest moment of our season, realistically, because De'Aaron Fox, we weren't able to agree to a deal with him. We've got to make sure we get him back, and then we'll see if we can use a mid-level exception to grab another decent player from the free agency pool. So with that, we're going to get free agency started. You can see we're already in the negative. But in that pool, Giannis is available. We don't have money to go for him. As much as we would love to just go bid for Giannis, we have no money. So that can't happen. But he is a free agent. You can see there are a number of restricted free agents, including the fifth best choice, De'Aaron Fox. 4-star guy, solid player, and we need to make sure that we get him back. So looking in there, right, we have exactly what we want in him. He is still developing, but he's already 4 stars. He won't quite hit 4.5. It looks like he might just, but we're looking at definitely one of the better players in the league, and we need him as a key part to our roster. So the demand is 27. We were already burned going for, what was it, like 25? We want a long contract. We want a max contract. I don't want any of those things. We're just going straight for a max contract. We need to make damn sure we get him signed on. No messing around. Now, for a mid-level exception, right away we're going down to Kuzma, Tatum. Those guys are restricted free agents. So then we jump down to Steven Adams, which we have a 3-star center right now. Conley Cantor's still out there. Wondering maybe is somebody like an Otto Porter Jr. a good option. Malik Beasley, our guy, out there and available. What do we have in Josh Richardson? Oh, he was a 2nd-round pick, huh? Defense is a 66. It's not amazing. He's definitely spends a little too much in that mid-range area. Trying to avoid, especially when we already have 13 points a game. Maybe not ideally who we're looking for. Let's find somebody on this page. Backup power forward could be a thing, but he's a restricted free agent. Justice Winslow. He's got a good shot. He actually is pretty decent at scoring. Still some room to develop. Defensive ability kind of at the minimum. Way too much mid-range in his game, though, for me. You know what? With Harrison Barnes, we're already good at power forward. Jake Walker is going to be the starting shooting guard this year. He'll have developed. So that'll push Buddy Hale to small forward, I think, or one of them anyway. So small forward seems to be where we still have some sort of vacancy, right? Justin James is going to develop a little more. He's finally hit 2 stars. He played really well in the Summer League. He was our best player in Summer League. Taco Fall, by the way, would be a nice addition. But I have too much depth there right now. I think small forward. What if we thin this out? Get rid of the point guards. Get rid of the shooting guards. Jason Tatum. Okay, so Otto Porter Jr., Josh Richardson, Fournier. About Oubre. Defense is 61. You're not a mid-range guy. You gotta post up or take threes. Do like that. You're capable of scoring much better than you are already, so you still have room to develop your game a fair amount to near 3-star status. What about Williams? A little bit better defensively. Still more room for growth in a good way, more so. Very little mid-range in your game. You're a pass-first guy, except for the catch and shoot. Very much a 3-and-D kind of guy. Fournier's developed as he's going to get. Not a fan of Hayward's age either. Also developed as he's going to get way too much mid-range. Can we get a mid-level? Can we get one of these guys to sign a mid-level exception? I'm not so sure. He's almost developed all the way now. Horrible defensively. Way too much mid-range. So no, I'd be looking, I think, either at Josh Richardson or I think Kenrick Williams and then Oubre. I'm just not sure if Richardson's going to be willing to accept. We could try day one and see what happens. he sits on it for a while, I have a feeling he'll go elsewhere, and then we can try to turn our focus to one of those two for a mid-level exception after that. Defense is a 66. Not a fan of the mid-range game there, but he's driving pass, drive and shoot. Catch and shoot's only an 8. Pull-up jumper, right? That's where that mid-range is really going to come in. He's only going to do that 7% of the time, so he might have a decent mid-range game, but he's not going to abuse it much. But I kind of like Williams is going to give you defensive ability. He's going to give you the same and can develop a little more stealing. Right? That's Paul Henley. He's got room to develop still. He's not a great scorer. Kind of tempted to go after him. How do these two compare? Let's see, IQ, Williams, definite advantage. Similar defense, rebounding, very similar. Handling, identical, but passing, Richardson, huge advantage. Scoring, Richardson, significantly better. Free throws, his shot, yeah. So Richardson's offense is far better than Williams. Their defense is similar, though Williams is a little bit smarter. I think you kind of have to start with Richardson, see how that goes, and then Williams is your fallback. Okay, we're looking for a mid-level exception. It's not what he wants. Not what he wants, but we could maybe get him to sign. $9.5. $9.6. It looks like we could actually go for a 4th year. Let's go for that maximum for that 4th year. Four-year deal for the mid-level exception. Sorry about the noise. Kids in the daycare having a little fun. You might have remembered from the last episode, especially if you just watched it. First day, kid was struggling. He's doing well now, but they're definitely down there trying to keep up morale. I was down there for quite a while helping out, and he's doing better now. All right, well, there you go. We have De'Aaron Fox, Josh Richardson. Those are our offers in. That definitely puts us in the hole a bit. But those could be some strong additions to the team. Well, one necessity and one addition. Let's also do this while we're here. Add to the target list. Okay, because I put offers in. That way we can just click on targeted players. We'll see. What do we get? Oh, what do we get? What do we get? Okay, well, first thing is Giannis has re-signed with the Bucks. And Fournier has also re-signed. Okay. Both of our offers still stand. So we have not been turned down. Now, Sean Holmes is leaving. Yes, he is. Bull is also technically available as a free agent. And if we want to look at a minimum exception for some sort of backup, we had Taco Fall playing in the Summer League. And man, oh man, would I love to get him onto this roster because he's got good potential. So does Bull though. Oh, Zach Collins is out there as well. Davis. There you go. Taco Fall. 25. Good defense. Not a tremendous scorer or anything, but good inside game. Good rebounder. Good defense. Right? What's not to like about the 7'5" Taco Fall? Who is almost entirely a post-up guy. But it's the post-up, right? He's going to pass the ball or he'll post up. His catch and shoot is a very rare thing. A pull-up jumper is a very rare thing. So he could do some good things for you. I just don't know if he'll take a minimum, but we'll see if he will. A low-level exception. Yeah, he's looking for a $13 million deal, but I'm not sure he's going to find it out there. I love how the maximum's more than the minimum. Can I get him 2 years? Give that one a chance. I don't think it advanced the 1 day. There you go. Now it's advancing 1 day. Just a couple days into the free agency period. And the biggest name already off the board. We'll see what happens after 2 days. John Collins. 5-year deal, re-signing with the Hawks. Taco Fall, okay, off the board there. Let's try again with just the 1-year deal. I'm wondering if we were over the max. If we were over the max there, if we could sign him to a 1-year deal, we can then turn around and re-sign him if we want to. So we'll give that a shot, see if he's available, and we push forward a day again. Just really hoping we don't lose Fox. Oh man, that's... Okay, we got him. We got him. Fox is coming back. Cost us, but he's coming back. Taco Fall is not an option. Okay, so we'll have to look elsewhere for that minimum. Josh Richardson's still hanging out, though. So he's still available. Drummond is out there. There's no way he would sign a mid-level exception, right? Porter Jr., there's Richardson. Beasley still available. And not showing anything, really. I made because unrestricted free agent. There was nothing we could do about that because we got him to sign to that one more year. So we have no rights to him. But we can re-sign him. So we need to make sure we try to get after bringing back Malik Beasley, because he's already tied to us. Now we can sign anything to him. That's why it's available, because he is with us. He wants $12 million a year for 3 years. You know, considering where he's at, I think we could probably give him a decent deal, multi-year. But below that, right? Let's say we go for $8 million. He wants a 3-year deal. Let's give him a 3-year deal, and let's make it an annual raise of 5%. What's that gonna do? What's that gonna look like? That's actually not much. Let's raise this up a little bit. Let's start at 9. We'll start at 9. There you go. It's not quite what he wants. Maybe we add a 4th-year option. Contract option, team option. Options apply to the final year of the contract. Okay, so let's try to add in a 4th year at... We can make it higher. And that way we can at least decide whether we want him back, right? 11 million, final year. That way we're at least getting the decision, and he's getting paid a little bit more, closer to what he's actually asking for. Oh, above the maximum increase allowed. Oh, there you go. Okay. You didn't automatically fix it for me? I don't know why that didn't just fix it for me. I think we're just a little bit light. Let's try 9.2. So 925. I think that's a little more along the lines of what he was looking for. So we've got that 4th year on there. 10.5. He'll get over 10 in the 3rd year. It's not quite what he's asking, but there we go. Let's go ahead and push that forward another day. The real work's done, though. We got Fox. Kept Fox. No signings. But he is considering. And I'm not sure he's going to get that much from anybody else. Definitely starting to understand a little bit better how this works and how so many guys actually stay with teams unless teams don't want to re-sign them. It's hard to get anywhere outside of that mid-level exception. So you can kind of sign one guy every year. One guy. And try to get that second one, right? The minimum exception. That gets tricky. That seems to get real tricky real quick. Okay, Bull, he's restricted. We have an offer in, so there's a chance he'll come back. Kind of taking our chances with that. But we're well down into the 2-star guys. Do I have anyone else? I guess I should be in contracts, not roster. Oof. Sorry, kids. Oh. They are currently listening to Queen's We Will Rock You. And jumping up and down. It is technically our gym time. And it's raining outside. And, it's January. So, we're doing our gym time inside. Anyway. Sorry if that bothers you. I do find it amusing, though. Still have Corey Joseph. So, Sean Holmes, unrestricted free agent. I'm all for letting him go. Bull, Malik Beasley. So, Bull's a restricted free agent. So, Swanigan, they both have offers in. So, that minimum. Wes Nelson isn't going to sign. I'm going to let Wes Nelson go, as he's just a 1-star guy. And then what is that? How does that leave me letting Holmes go? So we're at 4, 8, 10. We have 12 right now. I'd like Beasley to come back as 13. I'd like Bull to come back as 14. We got the other guy coming back. It would be, or if we get Richardson, that's 15. We'd have to let somebody like Swanigan then go, not sign him. We're definitely letting Wes Nelson go. So yeah, we're okay. So Swanigan's kind of the sacrificial lamb if we need him to be. That also means we're not really going to be out there hunting for somebody on a minimum contract because we don't have a contract spot available. So we'll push forward and see what we can do about retaining Beasley and adding Richardson. Remember, it's Willie Cauley-Stein who we added to the roster last season on that mid-level exception that we're trying to grab Richardson on this year. Both 3-star guys, and we were able to grab Cauley-Stein that way. Hopefully it works out for us again. But that's quite a few days of no new signings for anyone. So some early movement in the market, and then things have settled. And I know a lot of these come... Oh, there you go. Richardson re-signing with the 76ers. That's our option gone. We've got to now look for somebody else for that mid-level exception. It'd be funny if I could get... Rudy Gobert with a 90 defense. There's no way he would sign, right? No way he takes a mid-level exception. With his 12.5 rebounds a game and a 90 defense, yeah, was making 40 million. He's not going to accept a mid-level exception. $10 million. Creed's pretty high. He's looking for a $32 million deal. Who even has money left? Who has money left to play with? Miami has a ton of money. Wow. Did they retain any players? Charlotte, San Antonio, Denver, Phoenix. These guys can't afford anyone, but there's still 5 teams out there in the market that can spend kind of money to bring in those top players. So those top players will sign with one of those guys. One of those teams will pick them up. It will not be anybody else. So these guys, consider them gone. It's only 6 players that are 3.5 stars or better. Now, that puts us down into this 3-star range. Otto Porter Jr. still here. Get back into that small forward area. That's definitely where we're hurting. Williams is still there, and I do think I like him more than Porter. Defense for one thing. Hayward has defense, though. So why didn't I like Hayward? Oh, because of the mid-range game. But what are you going to do? A post-up? Pull-up jumper is a 5. Catch and shoots an 8. So, I mean, that could happen from anywhere. He's not a post-up guy. He's only a 2 on post-up. But a good defensive player. So, I'm kind of torn here. Could score some. I mean, he'll get you 10 a night, it looks like. Decent ball handler. What? Right? I mean, he kind of checks out above Williams and everything. Love that IQ for Williams, though. Let's look at Williams again. He's still developing. That's kind of the thing there. The rebounding is going to get a lot better. Defense, that's going to improve some. This is a player that still has some potential, still growing, right? Still young. But he's not putting up the kind of numbers, right? So Hayward's going to give you here and now, but he's 31. Williams at 26 could be part of the team a lot longer, but I think I'm kind of looking for a filler here, not necessarily a long-term gap. So maybe we are looking for a 31-year-old Hayward. Maybe to a 3-year deal. I mean, he wants $27 million, but That doesn't mean he's going to get that from anyone. Too many zeros. There you go. I don't want a four-year deal on the 31-year-old. Go for a 3-year deal for Hayward. I definitely think Williams is that next fallback guy, and he won't even accept it. Okay. So I think that pushes us down to Williams now. Or do we go for an Otto Porter Jr., who apparently is a 3-star guy? Scoring certainly better. Oh, that defense, though. It's atrocious, though he'll steal the ball. It reminds me so much of Michael Jordan. Not the offense, okay, no comparison there, but the defense. Jordan gets so much credit as a defender because people watch highlight reels, and highlight reels include him stealing the ball, and he was a great individual defender in the way that he created a lot of steals. He made a lot of steals. He was good as a defender in that regard. But in other regards, he was a horrible team defender. He was lazy. He was, more recent examples like Kobe Bryant. It's like he's not even on the court. It's just when he went one-on-one with somebody who clearly wanted to score, especially against another superstar, that he'd step up and actually give an effort on defense. Terrible defender. And Otto Porter Jr. looks very much that same light. Right? I like that there's still room for development here. I think we could sign him for significantly less. What is he looking for? Now, see, money-wise, right? We're a lot closer. I think we could. And because he's young, I think we can go for the 4-year deal. I wonder if we can make that 4th year a team option. I don't know if you could do that on a mid-level exception. Apparently you can. For me, I'm only one person, and I'm not so humble in all of my opinions, right? The GOAT talk, that conversation between LeBron, between Michael Jordan, 99.9% of the populace would argue that the conversation is between those two players. And I don't disagree with that at all. I think it is. I think it comes down to those two guys and not anyone else. But considering that, right, I do think that when it comes to that comparison, offensively, they are both Derrick Rose, Utah, Marketing to Bulls, Hardaway, Mavericks, Adams to Thunder, all guys that are re-signing. And that's the thing. That's the way the market kind of works. It's hard to be a free agent and move elsewhere, I'm finding. Anyway, comparing those two, offensively, they are both freaks of nature throughout their careers. Do things that other players just don't do. There's a couple 1-year guys coming in, but we don't have money to sign those 1-year kind of deals. And there's so much that you can argue offensively. And I think 2020, right? 2019 season, you look at LeBron James now, he's not a very effective defender anymore. But if you remember when Michael Jordan came back, after he retired and played baseball and then came back, he was awful. He was awful on really both ends of the court. So we got to look at the body of their work and not just how they were as old guys who played many, many, many years in the league, but the body of their work. I think LeBron James actually contributes to the defense. He's not the greatest defender that ever was. He's got a teammate now who's far better in that argument, in that respect, than he's ever been. But comparatively to Michael Jordan did one thing on defense: steal the ball. That's it. He was a terrible defender beyond that. So I've always argued that LeBron's a little more well-rounded than Michael Jordan ever was. Offensively, neck and neck, and you could argue all day long either way on who is better, as we do get Malik Beasley re-signed. And Pelicans get Williams back on a 2-year deal for a little more than what we were offering him, only slightly more. But he took that, and that leaves us with a mid-level exception still open to us. Technically no spots on the roster, though, but we could still free one up. Drummond and Gobert are both out there. I wonder, did Drummond ever end up on a team last year, or was he... I don't know if he had a team last year. Okay, he did. He signed a 1-year max deal. There's no way Drummond's going to take a mid-level exception. All right, he wants $32 million, and Miami has the money to send him. That's why they're the favorites. There's Otto Porter Jr. A poor defender, but good otherwise player. He's looking for a bit of money, though. Never mind the team option. We'll just lock him in. Still have hopes of getting a decent small forward through the mid-level exception to help us out. Deal's still there, so he is thinking about it. It's the 28th of July now. Free agency ends on 4th of August. We're getting fairly close to the end of the period, so you're going to get a lot of these guys actually accept these deals when nothing better actually comes along. Whoa, like now. huge, there you go. This is all the RFAs. So Bull takes our deal. Collins staying with the Blazers. Drummond resigns with Detroit. Dwight Howard going to Portland. Bulls re-signed Otto Porter Jr. Swanigan accepted our deal. That did fill that last spot for now. Well, that filled the last spot. So we are out of space on our roster. That fills us up, I think. And we're looking like this. De'Aaron Fox, Marvin Bagley, the third, Buddy Hield, Jake Walker, and he should develop significantly this year. Ready to step into a starting role. Willie Cauley-Stein, our mid-level exception guy from a year ago. We've got Malik Beasley, Harrison Barnes, Dwayne Dedman as our top backups. Our 8 deep, and then Corey Joseph, Justin James stepping up, ready finally to leave the G League behind and contribute. Torrey Craig, only small forward we've got, but he's the backup there. Bull resigns. Again, that gives us our depth, and most of these guys still have a chance to improve a bit. Rookie coming in, Patrick Thompson, another one with a bit of potential, might spend the year in the G League. Troy Phillips. Swanigan still, hopefully he grows some this year. And Wes Nelson, who I think will be let go because we're over 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Yeah, that puts us at 16. So it's unlikely that we'll retain Wes Nelson. That second round pick, who I was already kind of looking at going, you know what, I don't think I want this guy, but we'll take a chance. He was supposed to be a first rounder. There was a reason why he dropped all the way to late second round. All right, well, we got Fox back. That was the big thing. We don't actually really added anything. This is the same team coming back, plus Patrick Thompson, minus Rashawn Holmes, meaning Bull moves up into Holmes' spot as that next guy on the post, the 5th guy down in the post, right? You got Bagley and then Barnes. You've got Cauley-Stein and then Dedman, and then Bull will pick up the garbage time in the rest of the minutes there and continue to develop. Hopefully he does develop to the point where he can overtake Dedman. I'd like to let Dedman go when his contract is gone, or if he's in the final year of his deal this year finally, he might actually finally become trade bait worthy. We do have a lot of expiring deals. Corey Joseph as well. So Dedman, Joseph, entering the last years of their deal. Bagley we want to retain, so we're going to have to try to re-sign him this year. Don't want to make the same mistake of pushing it with Fox. Holmes is going to go bye-bye. Yeah, so just those couple. So Corey Joseph and Dedman likely will be trade bait of some kind this year. Maybe even a draft pick to throw in. If we can get those two plus a first draft pick, if we can get something decent in return for that, I would be all for it. I would definitely be all for it. I don't mind Bull as our backup, especially if he does develop. I'd be much more willing to pay him than Dedmon. And yeah, maybe we can pull a decent small forward that way. Maybe throw in, a Torrey Craig or a Troy Phillips to upgrade. I like that idea. So we might have a trade on the cards for this year, but whether we can find a trade partner, that's another story. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Thanks for tuning in. We're ready to begin the regular season next time out. Last season, we spent so much time in the off-season that when it came down to free agency, that was kind of the biggest period. That was the most active period for me as a player, and I bypassed it for the most part. So this year I bypassed the rest of the off-season for the most part, squeezed it all into one episode to get this. The off-season is where I make things happen. I'm definitely finding. During the regular season, I let the coach do his thing. So I don't think I mind having 2 episodes per off-season. But let me know in the comments below if in the future you'd like to see that cut down to 1, or if you're happy with 2 episodes during the off-season being a good, efficient way of covering the action and preparing us for the season to come. Be sure to hit that like button, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.